Good afternoon, everyone. Today I'll be presenting on one of the most notorious figures in American criminal history, John Wayne Gacy. While his name is infamous, studying his life and actions help us understand how someone who appears ordinary or even helpful can still pose a serious danger. By looking closely at his background, his behavior, and the investigation that exposed him, we can learn important lessons about criminal psychology, community awareness, and the warning signs that law enforcement and the public should never ignore. This presentation is meant to be educational, focusing on facts and lessons that help us better understand how cases like this can be prevented in the future. So let's talk about his early life. John Wayne Gacy was born on March 17, 1942 in Chicago, Illinois. His childhood was far from easy. He grew up in a strict household where discipline often crossed the line into emotional hardship, and his relationship with his father was especially difficult. His father was known to be harsh and demanding, which left a lasting impact on Gacy's self-esteem. Despite this environment, Gacy attempted to live what looked like a normal life. He participated in school activities when his health allowed and tried to please others around him, and he became a young adult. He held different jobs, took on responsibilities, and presented himself as a hardworking and reliable person. These early experiences shaped how he learned to hide his struggles behind a carefully controlled public image. His public persona. One of the most surprising parts of Gacy's stories is the double life he led. On the surface, he appeared cheerful, friendly, and deeply involved in his community. He famously performed as Pogo the Clown, entertaining children at parties, hospitals, and fundraisers. This persona made people trust him even more. Neighbors, co-workers, and community leaders saw him as someone who cared about others and gave his time to good causes. His ability to appear approachable and helpful made it extremely difficult for anyone to imagine the darkness that lay behind the mask. This contrast between who he pretended to be and who he truly was one of the key reasons his case was so widely studied today. Crime and arrest. Between 1972 and 1978, while maintaining his friendly reputation, Gacy carried out a series of crimes that shook the nation once they came to light. He targeted young men and teenagers, often approaching them under the pretense of offering work or opportunities. As people in the community started noticing strange disappearances, suspicion slowly grew. However, because of Gacy's public image and connections, it took time for those concerns to turn into action. Everything changed in December 1978 when police began investigating the disappearance of young men named Robert Piest. Evidence collected during this investigation allowed law enforcement to take a closer look at Gacy. This eventually led to his arrest when officers discovered the true extent of what had been happening. While the details are disturbing, focusing on how the investigation unfolded teaches us the importance of persistence and police work, and the need to listen when people go missing or raise concerns. Trial and conviction. Gacy's trial began February 1980 and quickly became one of the most closely followed cases in American history. The courtroom was filled with reporters, legal experts, and the members of the public. People were trying to understand how someone so involved in the community could have committed such severe crimes. During the trial, both sides presented strong arguments. The prosecution used physical evidence, witness accounts, and Gacy's own statements to show that crimes had been planned and intentional. The defense attempted to argue about his mental state and his capability for responsibility. Ultimately, the jury found him guilty on multiple counts of murder. He was sentenced to death, unruly reflecting the seriousness of his actions. This trial showed just how important proper investigation, evidence collection, and criminal psychology are when dealing with complex cases like this. Legacy and lessons. Even decades after his conviction, the John Wesley Gacy case continues to use as a teaching tool. He has influenced how police departments handle missing persons reports, how investigators track patterns, and how psychologists study the behavior of individuals who hide harmful intentions behind normal appearances. His case reminds us of the importance of taking concerns seriously, especially when multiple people report unusual or suspicious behavior. It also highlights the need for communities, schools, and families to pay attention to warning signs and communicate with one another. While the actions themselves were horrific, the lessons learned have helped shape stronger investigative methods, improve mental health awareness, and reinforce the idea that anyone can report concerns if something doesn't feel right. In conclusion, John Wayne Gacy's life serves as a powerful reminder that appearances can be deceiving. By studying his early upbringing, his carefully crafted public persona, the crimes he committed, and the court case that followed, we gain valuable insight into human behavior and the importance of awareness. Understanding this case is not about focusing on the gruesome details, but learning how the tragedies like this can be prevented in the future. It teaches us the importance of strong communities, better mental health support, improved investigative procedures, and the courage to speak up when something feels wrong. Thank you for listening, and I hope this presentation helped you better understand why cases like this are studied and what we can learn from them. Thank you.